Oh my God, we're running super late today. It's 10:52 in the a.m. and the tournament starts at 11. We got 8 minutes to get there. It's not going to happen. Good news is it doesn't matter. Hopefully, it doesn't matter. No, you can show up to a tournament as late as you want. They're your poker chips. They're your tournament chips. What happens if you're late, for those of you guys that don't know, is when the little dealer puck is bounced around the table, it rotates around the table, and when it's your turn to put in the required chips, whether you're there or not, the dealer will just take the chips, the big blind and the small blind it's called, your turn to basically ante, you know. It's not an ante, but for you guys that have played home games, you know, you have a little ante where everybody puts a little bit of money into the pot before they dealing the cards out. So this is called the big blind and the small blind, and two people on every round. Every round of cards being dealt have to put those chips into the pot. So if you're not there, the dealer will put the chips in for you. And so our, you know, they're going to take a little bit of our stack before we get there, but that's all right. You know, we've got 30,000 in starting chips today. Today's event is the Omaha High or Omaha PLO, Pot Limit Omaha. It's not the high-low Omaha. It's just the PLO Omaha version. So, which means we're just playing for high hand. In the high-low version, you can make a low hand, like if you have a deuce 3, 4, 5, 6, or something like that, regardless of whether it's a straight or not. Deuce 3, 4, 5, 7, ace, deuce 3, 4, 5 is considered the low hand. So you compete. That low hand competes against the other low hands, if there's any. And if you have a high hand, you know, trip aces, a straight, a flush, you have the high hand. So in a lot of pots, there's a high hand winner and low hand winner. So you get split pots. So you never know if somebody's playing the high hand or the low hand. But anyway, just that's the basics of it. I'm not going to go into the whole explanation of how the game works. But today, that's not the case. There's no low hand game being played today. It's only for the best poker hand you can make. Damn, I forgot to wear my rings. That's okay. My rings I wear when I play poker. But we were in a rush getting out of the house. So doing some other stuff today. Slept in. It was nice to sleep in a little bit since we didn't do any Ubers today because it's just a fun day. We're playing down at the World Series of Poker. $600 buy-in, that's the cost. So still considered a cheap buy-in with regard to World Series of Poker buy-in prices. So should be fun. Wonder how many people are going to be in this one. My guess is just maybe 500 to 1,200. I have no idea how many people play in this. I've never played in a live in-person PLO tournament, so don't know what to expect. Played online. I've played a little online cash game PLO. I've played some online PLO tournaments, but never in person, so this should be a totally different experience and fun. I'm just going to try to have fun. Just going to play straightforward, not get too tricky. The other difference is, for those of you that don't know, PLO, it's the same basic fundamental as Texas Hold'em, where you're trying to make the best 5-card poker hand. There's a flop, there's a turn, and a river. You know, they put 3 cards on the flop, then they put a turn card, and then they put a river card. So there's 5 cards on the board, and you match up your cards that the other players cannot see to those cards that are face up to make the best poker hand. The difference between PLO and No Limit Hold'em is, first of all, it's limit. So you can only bet, PLO is Pot Limit Omaha. You can bet up to the max size of the pot. So if there's 3,000 chips in the pot, you can bet 3,000. Can't bet a chip more than that. When the pot gets to 6,000 or 7,000, you can bet 7,000. You can bet up to the maximum size that the pot is. The other major difference, the biggest difference is, instead of getting 2 whole cards, like in Texas Hold'em, you get 4 whole cards. So you're going to get some much bigger hands happening because when you have 4 cards, there's a lot more different things you can do with the flop, right? A lot of different things going on. So different strategies. Let's get over here. Bigger hands. Flushes are very common. Trips is not as strong, not nearly as strong of a hand. 3 of a kind is not nearly as strong of a hand as it is in No Limit Hold'em because you have 4 cards to possibly match up with that board. So you're going to make trips quite a bit. 2 pair is pretty weak. You see a lot of full houses, a fair amount of full houses. So you need to up your standards. If you're going to get to the river and you're not going to try to bluff the pot, you need to play much better hands than you would in Hold'em. So what else? The other thing is, let's say there's 3 spades on the flop. Spade, spade, spade comes out on the flop, and you have the ace of spades as one of your hole cards, of your 4 cards. Woohoo, great, I made a flush. Nope, you did not make a flush. Even if there's 4, well, you could never make a flush if there was 3 spades on the flop and you had 1. That's only 4 spades. But if another spade comes on the turn, so there's 4 spades showing, and you have the ace of spades, you still haven't made a flush. Okay, unless you have 2 spades in the hole. So you must play 2 of your hole cards. You can't just play 1 of them to complete a hand like you can in Hold'em. You have to have 2 cards must play from your hand. So you would have ace high with something else. You know, you might have a pair or something. You wouldn't have a flush unless you have 2 spades to match up with 3 spades on the board. So it's a different game. It confuses people sometimes. They think they made a straight. They think they made a flush. You know, especially if you're like a beginner. Sometimes you think you have a better hand than you do. Like if the board makes double pair and you have one of those cards, you didn't make, or like if there's a 3 of a kind on the board, 3 threes come out, you have a 3. Well, that's a bad example. You still made a 4 of a kind in that case because your next card as your whole card is going to be the kicker. So it's confusing. I'm not a pro at it. I don't know all the nuances for sure. So I might make some mistakes today. I'm guarantee I'll make some mistakes today, but I'm just going to try to minimize those. I'm going to play kind of tight and look for some spots where I can get a big hand over somebody else's not quite as big of a hand. Obviously, that's the case where you get big pots and you can rack up a lot of chips. So we'll see what happens. I've read no books on PLO Omaha, so I don't know. I'm a pure amateur in the truest sense of the word going into this tournament. So, but it'll be fun. There's going to be more action. There's no doubt I'm going to get better hands this time because in the no limit tournament I played last time, I had such a long stretch of hours and hours without making even a playable hand, not even like a 9-10 or something. I mean, it was crazy. So let's have fun. Let's get down there. It's 1 minute till the tournament starts. We're still 10 minutes away, so yeah, definitely going to be late here. Got this bad boy here. Other thing is I was low on energy last time. I was melting down. I was getting tired like 5 hours into the tournament. I had a headache, no good. Popped 3 Advil this time, got the monster energy, got another one in here in case we get lucky and run deep. So that's enough of the rant or whatever you want to call it. Let's get into the Rio and let's get into the tournament and see how it goes. Give you guys an update here in a few. What's up, guys? We're still in it after the first break, but not doing too great actually. I was down to 10,000 in chips. I managed to double that up. We're at 22,000 right now, heading back from the break. The blinds are gonna be 250, 500 with a 500 ante. So that's where things stand. I gotta put the camera up to my face because I'm talking through this mask. But keep grinding, see if I can get something. I'm getting some really good starting hands, but I'm missing the flop every time. Okay, guys, I was wrong about one thing. I can do a lot worse than I did in the last tournament. I didn't think it was possible. But long story short, the best hand we got in our Omaha tournament today, our PLO tournament, was a jack high flush. We won that pot, but honestly, we never made a full house. The jack high flush was our best hand of the day. It's 2.5 hours now since the start of the tournament. We are out. Ended up with 2 kings when I had about 15,000 in chips left, with the blinds at 1,500 and 750 or something like that, 1,500 and something. We had 2 kings in there, and we had a suited 6-7 of clubs, so we got it all in against another guy. He showed 2 aces without much of a draw, so we flop a king, looking beautiful, turn ace, and we're bounced out of the tournament. So that's how it goes. We'll see about it. I got to now bust my butt doing some Uber to make some more money to throw back into another tournament here so we can give it one more shot maybe. So the Colossus is a $400 buy-in. That's at the end of this month. And I'll say it again, we can't do worse than we did now in 2 tournaments in a row. So there's just no way. A jack high flush in 2.5 hours playing Omaha. Wow. Wow. That's crazy. That's crazy. So we're out. Thanks for watching this video, though. I appreciate it. Such is the nature of poker. You go on losing streaks. You can go on winning streaks. We happen to be on a terrible streak with tournament poker right now at the worst possible time. So, but it is what it is. I'm going to go home. I'm done for the day today. It's going to be 3 o'clock soon. So, and we'll be back at it again. Put another video out as soon as I can. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.